Good morning, Vikings. This is a special episode of VTV. For the first time this year, we are taping an episode live.
That means no editing, and what you see is what you get, mistakes and all. We'll hope for the best. If you remember last week's episode, Sarah Maggiacomo shot a documentary on the Cuban Missile Crisis.
This week, Sarah is back at it, this time with a short film about one of America's most decorated war heroes, United States Marine John Basilone. Check it out.
I was born on November 4th, 1916, in Buffalo, New York. Grew up in Raritan, New Jersey. I left school after 8th grade in search of adventure. When I joined the Marines, I found it. My name is John Basilone, and this is my story. I joined the Marines in 1940 and served in the Philippines. It wasn't until my second assignment that I got action, though. Me and my regiment were sent to Guadalcanal. Our mission was to prevent the Japanese from taking it. I remember it like it was yesterday. The enemy came wave after wave of relentless attacks. We were all exhausted from sleepless nights and days of continuous fighting. Eventually it all came down to me and a group of 15 other men. We had to hold off 3,000 Japanese soldiers to win. Soon only me and 2 other men remained. We started to run out of ammo. It was 100 meters to the next base with ammo. I had no choice but to go and get it. In the end, we had won. I returned to my hometown and was greatly rewarded. I received the highest achievement, the Medal of Honor. There were parades thrown in my honor, and I even got the attention of celebrities. I requested to go back into battle, but was denied. So I sold Liberty bonds to help the war.
They really appreciate backing the attack and buying these war bonds.
I promised my commandees I would return to the battlefield. I kept my promise. After getting married to Lena May Rigi, I was back on the front lines. This time, I was out for blood.
What are you doing?
Just looking up more about John Basilone after watching that amazing segment. I can't seem to find anything though, everything's blocked.
Are you on the school Wi-Fi? If you've ever used a computer at the school, you've probably noticed that most websites are blocked. In this next segment, Kayla Collins finds out why.
Have you ever gone to the library to do research on a computer and found the websites you needed were blocked? This seems to be a common problem for many of us. So why does it happen, and can anything be done about it? Why do you think the administrators block certain websites and apps?
Because if kids were on their, phones and apps all day, then they would get distracted from teachers and work that's they're supposed to be doing in school.
Because they don't want us watching anything inappropriate and wasting our class time.
They probably think it's good because it won't distract us during school or during classes.
Why are certain websites blocked in school?
Well, there are two reasons why websites are blocked. One, we are obligated by federal law to comply with CIPA, and that's CIPA, and that stands for Children's Internet Protection Act. And the second reason that we block sites is for internet bandwidth.
How are you affected by certain websites being blocked?
I'm not, because I can get on all of them. However, I have to deal with a lot of students complaining about Snapchat being blocked, and I know Snapchat is incredibly educational, so I guess they should start working on that.
Sometimes it's an inconvenience for me because there are things that I need to attend to regarding my own personal business, health care, insurance, things of that nature. So it is a little annoying that we are blocked from certain sites now and don't have access to the network.
Occasionally I am, not often, but a lot of stuff that maybe has an innocent name to it, that what you would think would be an innocent name if you're a history teacher, won't come up and will be blocked. But it's happened a couple of times that there's been an issue, but for the most part, it hasn't been a problem.
How does a filter determine if a website is appropriate for school use?
So it puts it in categories like education, adult content, news, sports, and streaming media. So once it categorizes it, then it's up to the IT department to determine which of those categories that we're going to put onto our network. And we use those first two criteria. It has to satisfy CIPA, and the other criteria is, does it put a strain on our network?
What websites and apps do you wish were unblocked?
YouTube, Snapchat, and Instagram.
I think Snapchat and Instagram should be unblocked.
When doing research for certain classes, what websites can't you access?
Mostly Yahoo Answers, but other than that, when I'm in biology and doing research, there's a lot of things I can't access during my time of research.
When I'm looking up vocab words during class and I want to download the dictionary app, the App Store's blocked.
What can be done to loosen the restrictions if they are affecting student learning?
Well, sites that are seen as affecting students' learning, and if they truly add value to the students' learning, then a teacher can absolutely request through a help desk ticket to have that site unblocked.
Being able to use certain apps or websites under Triton Wi-Fi can cause much frustration, but there is a silver lining. It can also be a way to help kids focus and have fewer distractions.
Have you ever printed something out in the library and noticed that all papers get sent to the same printer?
Yeah, sometimes I get a little worried that someone else is going to take mine.
Well, you don't have to worry about it anymore. This next segment shows us how to print our papers safely without worrying about them getting stolen or mixed up with someone else's.
Has this ever happened to you? You and 25 of your classmates are typing papers in the library. Just before the class ends, everyone has to print the assignments to give them to the teacher. But by the time you get to the printer, your paper has either been mixed up with someone else's or taken and thrown into the trash. There has to be a better way. Welcome to Secure Print. Now you can send your document to the printer with the confidence that it will only print when you tell it to. No more mixed up papers.
What time is it? I have a paper due by the end of next English class.
You probably should have started that sooner. You know what they say, don't put off for tomorrow. What can be done today?
Yeah, I've heard it all before, but I'm still too lazy to get started.
Well, maybe this next segment will motivate you to get your work done sooner. You know, one of the main reasons kids procrastinate is because they're constantly on their phones.
Okay, but that doesn't apply to me.
Right. Well, anyway, our last segment, made by Dylan Waters, will hopefully make you think less about your phone and more about the world around you.
At Triton, 99% of students are addicted to their cell phones. Some might say they're glued to their phones. Teachers are enraged by this problem.
Those darn whippersnappers should get off those gadgets.
There should be a law about this.
Students are furious that teachers keep taking their phones away.
I want to play cool math.
I just want to check my Snapchat.
Unless this civil war ends, American citizens will be at risk. What can we do to stop it?
Hide your phone when you're using it.
Put it on vibrate.
Or throw it in the trash.
Let's make the world a better place. Unplug.
That's it for this episode of VTV. All things considered, I think it went well.
Our hope is that we'll be able to broadcast the live episode before the year is up. Keep your ears open for a chance to be a part of our live studio audience.
For my partner Kayla, I'm Allie. Have a great day, everyone.